Hi everyone, Marilyn O'Malley here of MarilynO'Malley.com, and today I want to share with you, what does spiritual awakening look like? And awakening is not the same thing as ascending. I was awakening a long time before ascension started for me. So I have a lot of people asking me this question, so I thought I would share it with you. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to give examples and then also share what you can do to help your awakening, which will also help then your ascension. Now you can awaken in this period of time and be going through ascension at the same time. So let me distinguish between the two first. So Deepak Chopra calls awakening happens when you are no longer living in a dream world where you filter everything through your ego, and I call your conditioning. Instead, you have an awareness of your individual self and your connection to everything. So, and what we're talking about in a dream world is where you're living unconsciously, where you're living from habit, from your programming. You're not consciously aware of every or most things, and making decisions in the moment about how you're going to respond or how you're going to react, or the actions that you're going to take. A lot of times that dream state is you're just on autopilot. You don't even know how you got there a lot of the times, and you don't. So if you find yourself saying, the same things keep happening to me over and over again, or every day is like the same, that means you're living in a dream state. And usually what happens is something like this pandemic or quarantine, and I'll share some more examples a little bit later, that come up, and it usually awakening feels like the rug is being pulled out from underneath you. Like all of a sudden, bloop, you start to question, oh, who am I? What was I believe? How did I believe that? What was I thinking? So something. And so let me share what those somethings can be like, right? And what happens is you start to question your beliefs, your actions, your feelings, your thoughts, your friends, your lovers, your partners, your leaders, your institutions, corporations, government, religions, cultural beliefs, childhood trainings, traditions. You start to question everything because all of a sudden it doesn't feel right. And what you were taught to believe or what you thought was right, all of a sudden crumbles and falls apart, and you realize it was an illusion. It was an illusion. And so here are some of the things or situations that come up that would awaken you. And so some of these are life-changing. Well, all of them are, if you look at it, that these challenges, these things that are happening are happening for a reason, to get your attention and to knock you out of that dream state. So like this pandemic, quarantine, life-changing illnesses, divorce, friendship loss, a car accident or some type of accident, falling off a cliff, breaking something, unexpected career or job loss, financial challenges, fear, something that scares the daylights out of you, but also facing a fear. Like that's why people who are afraid and go skydiving, all of a sudden they skydive, right? They face it, and then that's an awakening. Also, they're like, holy crap, if I can do that and I face my fear, what else can I face? So it's not only bad things, challenging things, or traumas that happen, but it's also good things that happen. Maybe it is a promotion, or somebody believes in you in such a way, and you're like, wow, if they believe in me, maybe I'm not as bad as I'm believing I am, right? Because you're unconsciously believing things about yourself that aren't true, and the world is trying to wake you up and say, hey, you're a brilliant person. You're worthy of anything that you want. So unexpected challenges or traumas and unexpected, wonderful things happening in your life. So these that just kind of shake you out of that daily routine, but in a deep way, so that you start to question, all of the things that are going in your life, and you might feel a little unnerved because you're like, well, who am I then? And what am I? And what am I doing? And what really matters to me? And so this can feel like your world's falling apart. And the whole point of awakening is for that world, that unconscious world, to fall apart, and the true you to come to life and start putting that part of yourself forward, for you to start living from your soul, from your heart, for living your passion, living the things that mean something, that really mean something here, living your mission. For us star seeds, a lot of times we come into this world and we've forgotten why we came, but we have this thing in the back of our heads that we came here for a big mission. We're supposed to do something big, but we have no idea what that is. And a lot of times when our self-esteem is low, and our confidence, we're going, how that's never going to happen. But there's this knowing in us that we're going to do it, and all of a sudden something happens, and it starts leading you down the trail towards your mission. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to a lot of other people, that they've just been hitting their head against a brick wall and can't figure it out, and then they'll come to me and say, okay, and we'll start to see that figuring things out. You can't just keep hitting your head doing the same thing over and over again, like Einstein said, and think you're going to get a different result, right? So you have to wake up, just think waking up, and you have to start seeing the world in a different way. You have to start seeing yourself in a different way. And so the awakenings, happen in order for you to create that in your life. So if you would all start to see that this pandemic is, energetically is giving us all the chance to get off of the hamster wheel, to get out of the habit, out of the ego, out of the conditioning, and get more used to change and the unknown, and get comfortable with that, because that's where we're going. That's where you create from. You create in that unknown. You create in the now. You create here. You can't know where you're going. Your ego only knows the past. It doesn't know your future. It doesn't even understand potential, right? Or possibilities. It's only operating from the past. And really, for you to be creating and for you to be conscious, awake, and operating from your heart and in your mind together, you consciously, you are making new choices and stuff. You need to be in the present moment. So I have my notes here. Those of you who don't know me, I'm a sensitive and I don't like to make mistakes, and I can also go off in different places, and so I always have my notes with me. I don't like to memorize things. I like to be spontaneous, and I channel a lot of times, but my notes help keep me focused. So if you'll put up with me reading, I appreciate that. So it can, again, feel like it's crazy making. You're breaking down, or things are falling apart or falling off, so you can create new. So you can break through those old limiting beliefs, attitudes, and perceptions, and find out the truth of who you are. And as you break free of the old, you can create the new ways you want to live, who you want to become, and how you will serve. What's your big mission? And living your own creation and not living someone else's. So when this is happening, this can feel crazy making in a lot of ways, because a lot of us, when all of a sudden the parts of us, it's like when we start to go through this, all of a sudden what we thought was important to us isn't anymore. The people we thought were important to us aren't important to us anymore. They don't understand us. They never have, but we kept thinking that we needed them. And that they're not helping us to fulfill what we've come here for. And so our desires and our passions and our lifestyle can be like, I don't want any of this. I want XYZ. And also your eating, your diet, how you treat your body, what your body likes, what it doesn't like. All of those things can be changing at once. And again, and if you have people not understanding you and you don't have a community or people around who do, you can feel like you're going crazy, like you're losing your mind. And particularly if you're also having ascension symptoms and stuff during this time, it can feel crazy making. So go look at my Ascension 101 and Ascension symptoms and then self-care on that, so you can know the difference between the awakening and this part. So one of the major things is that you start to become aware that you have a deeper connection to yourself and to everything else than you were really paying attention to. And so your deeper connection, right, is really feeling your soul, your inner guidance, your intuition, your higher selves, your connection to nature, your connection to the cosmos, your connection to Source or God or Buddha, whoever, whatever name, vortex, whatever quantum field, whatever name you put to it, that you have a deep connection with all of this. And so just know, when you start to get this information, you wake up, you're like, why didn't somebody tell me this a long time ago? Because you've been suffering and needlessly so in a lot of circumstances. So it's so you might feel angry or sad that no one told you this earlier, right? But the thing is to be grateful that you're waking up now, and that it's really a wonderful thing, but it can be confusing and it can feel crazy making. And so it's really important for you to find communities or people like myself or others who are helping people wake up or and evolve in their lives. So what I thought I would do today was to help you understand some of the things that will help ease you through the awakening. So what you can do. So number one is look for patterns of thinking, feeling, acting, and so what are you doing automatically without conscious choice? So start to see like, oh wait, I didn't even think about that, and why am I angry, or why am I judging that person? Or see the things that you do all the time. Also, what is it that you're thinking all the time? Are you putting yourself down? How are you judging yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? What are you thinking about your ability to do things, to accomplish things, to love yourself, right? What are you feeling most of the time? A lot of us grow up addicted to one or two feelings. So anger, drama. Are you a drama queen or king? Do you get angry at everything? Does watch how you react to things and see, like, am I always repeating the same emotion over and over? And then see, what does that emotion give me? Because a lot of times anger is like, kind of gives somebody like they're bored and they need a little push. Or drama is the same thing, like they're bored or they need some stimulation, and so they like to get other people mad at other things or something, stir the pot up, and they kind of get a kick out of that, and it gets their juices going, so it kind of revs them up. And a lot of this is what you got out of your family, how you were conditioned within your family, and what you learned to believe was true, or made up to believe what was true for you and who you are. And I want you to understand, this is not who you are. This is your conditioning. And in order to find out who you really are, is to let go of the conditioning and see who's under those feelings. What's under those feelings? What's under those thoughts? What's the truth here? To really look at it, and then and look at your habitual actions. What are you doing to self-sabotage? What are you doing to not, that keeps you from the things that you really want in your life? Or what are you doing to hurt yourself? What are your, how do you treat your body, your mind, your friends, your life? Are you isolating? Are you drinking too much, eating, self-medicating too much? So just start to see and just know, okay, those things aren't me. I'm waking up, and you become the observer. You're watching yourself and you're going, oh, why am I doing that? So if the anger comes up, just kind of sit with the anger, and don't make it about just like, oh, okay, is there anything really under that? Like, start to feel, when does the anger first show up? Because it shows up before there's really something to get angry about, when you look at this and at a deeper way. And then see if you can let go of it and what's under there. And can you find appreciation? Can you find empowering thoughts, words, actions, and feelings that you want to manifest in the world? That's what you want to put out into the world. That's what you want to be bringing up for yourself. So a lot of times when you see things that it's like, oh, I don't want that. That's not what I'm creating. One of my teachers gave this tool to me. She said, after you think something or you say something and you put it out there in your head, say, and so it is. Because it's like you're saying, I'm not good enough, and so it is. That's the way it's going to be. I don't have enough, and so it is. So what if you start saying, I live an abundant, creative life, and so it is. Okay, like that, right? I am worthy of anything that I desire, and so it is. So change those words into empowering. It's a different energy. You got to we're shifting energies, and everything is energy. So when you're awakening, you're coming out of this really dense, heavy, conditioned energy. It's low energy. It's like, and it's disempowering. And you're awakening and going, wait a minute, this doesn't feel like me. It's like you're in this box and it's too small, and you're not a square, you're a star. And it's just not feeling right. And so you've got to, and you need more space. You need to express yourself in different ways that people haven't been letting you express yourself. And so you come back into that, and that's what you start finding out. And it's really exciting, and it is scary. It is scary because you're not used to it, and it's a bit uncomfortable because you're not used to it. It's different. It's the unknown. You're going into the unknown, and that's all right. It's all right. The unknown is where we create. And so if you're always in the unknown, then that means you're always creating, and you get to make choices, and that's freedom. That's empowerment. Right? You're making them. You're thinking about, what do I want? What do I desire? What do I need? What do I want to create in the world? How do I want to serve? What's my mission? And then you get to do that. And when you get in that energy, your vibration rises. So now you're above that old energy, and you are attracting new things, new people, new situations into your life. You start to awaken. So I always thought of it like, oh my God. Oh, so when I first started awakening, it was like somebody opened a door for me, and I peeked in, and then I stepped in, and I was like, wow. And then all of a sudden I saw 5 more doors, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's 5 other possibilities or opportunities. And then I sort of picked a door, and I went through that door, and it was like it opened my eyes, it awakened me even more. And then all of a sudden I had 25 doors that I could go through. So I could even open doors, peek in, go in for a little bit, come back, go out, and then went through another one. And then I have like 250 doors, right? So this is what your life starts to feel like, and it's exciting. And you can say, no, that's not what go try things. and then go try something else, and it's like, oh, that's me. That resonates. You start to feel what really resonates and feels good for you and lights you up and expands your heart and turns you on, versus just the routine, just the getting through life, just the surviving, the drudge or whatever. Life isn't working for me. It's so hard. So like, watch, don't say it's so hard. I'm working so much. I work, it's like, and so it is, and so it is. I'm so tired, and so it is. Instead of, you know, I love the work that I do. It feels like play, and so it is. I'm healthy, vibrant, have tons of energy and tons of time during the day to do whatever I need and whatever is needed for me to do. And so it is, right? So that's one of the things that you just start to pay attention to. Then the second thing I would say is start looking at your relationships. And this is your relationship to yourself and others, but our world is reflected back to us by the relationships that we keep. So I would say, if a lot of you guys are highly sensitives, do you have narcissists in your life? This is really important. Were one of your parents or both of your parents a narcissist? If so, you probably have partners, lovers, husbands, employees, somebody who is a narcissist, friends who are narcissists in your life. And one of the things that you really have to watch is that is a codependent relationship. Us sensitives are super good nurturers, taking care of each other, taking care of other people, putting ourselves last. We make people feel really good. We're energy workers, healers. Let me take care of you. So sacrificing ourselves for others. And that's one of the wake-up calls. No, take care of yourself first, and then you are helping others. If you don't take care of yourself first and you are sacrificing and you are taking care of others before you've done your own work, you're not helping really anybody. And handling other people's problems is not always what is needed for them to grow and learn. So look at your and also, are you isolating? Are you in unhealthy relationships? Do you not have people around you who can relate to you, who understand you, who love you, adore you, treasure you? Yes, there are people who will do that. Do you feel not misunderstood, unsupported? Again, this is a wake-up call, because that's what you're believing inside. We have to shake that up. You are supported. You can communicate. You are an excellent communicator when you believe it. You need to start shifting those things, and then your world will shift, and you will have the fantastic, healthy relationships in your life of people who, again, adore and cherish you. Where have you not loved yourself, and where are you giving your power away? Okay, next, number 3, make time to be quiet, meditate, be in nature to feel your connection to yourself, your guides, Gaia, and allow intuition to flow in. Find your inner voice and peace. Because when you find your inner peace, the inner balance, stability inside of you, then you can find it outside of you. Whatever is going on in here is what's being projected out there. It is not what's out there is going on in here. It's not that way. You see what you create in your mind. And then it's not your eyes that see, it's your mind. Your conscious mind has trained your subconscious mind to see the world a certain way. That's your programming. So if you are seeing the world a certain way, you need to change that subconscious programming in order to change your reality. And so the more that you can really make yourself feel safe and have that inner peace. So if you don't meditate, that's fine, but go spend time in nature, watch a sunset, sit by a tree, read healing books, poetry, meditation, or listen to beautiful healing music. Just allow yourself to daydream, to wander, to just let your mind expand, and also just take in beauty, just like by watching a bee or listening to sounds. Then you're giving yourself space that your intuition can come through, or your guides can come through and talk to you, or you'll get your what you call ahas. You might not even know yet that it's your intuition or your guides, but you might get an aha about something. Oh, wait a minute, an idea, a creative juice flowing, or somebody to call. So by doing all of that, it's really nurturing to you. It's very healing. And again, it's building your connection to nature. It's building your connection to source or your guides, your higher self, building your connection to Mother Earth, animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, whatever it is that turns you on, that you're excited about, go explore it. But just spend some time with it, and spend time with yourself quietly. There's all types of meditations. You can find meditations on my YouTube site, and then there's lots of other meditations out there. I do a lot of energy work. Welcome to feel that. If you need grounding, clearing, I have lots of videos on that and meditations that you can follow along. So the next thing, number 4, is pay attention to your intuition. So when you're awakening, we usually become much more psychic, and we're being, just pay attention, start to trust and test out your intuition. So when you feel a nudging or a gut reaction or something like you're supposed to go somewhere, go there and see what happens. Go when it feels like it's the right time. So intuition will feel like a flow. So it'll be a little voice, a soft voice, and you'll just have it's just like a knowing. It isn't a like, it's just, like the gremlin will be, or, somebody, you should do this, you should do that. No, it'll just be like, oh, I feel like I should go to the beach. And then you can go, what time? And it might be like you'll just feel when it's the right time, or it might say 1 o'clock. And so follow through on that, and then see what happens. Go, I want to be surprised. Surprise me, source. Surprise me, guides. Show me that you're listening to me. Show me, you talk to them. Create a conversation. This is what I need help with. Guide me. Show the people, the places, events, whatever it is that I need to go to. What I need to have. Can you share what's happening in the world in this respect? Can you share that information with me? Can you tell me about me? What do I need to know? I always ask, and I write my journal, what do I need to know today? What do I need to know that I don't already know? We don't know a lot of stuff. We're waking up. There's a lot of stuff that's covered up. Your natural knowing, which is huge, your real gifts and everything that you're here to offer, your big mission, that with the energy that comes behind it is buried. So when you start to have that connection to your guides and archangels and the angels and your higher self and source, the information will come in and it will help you. Like they might say, I'll get, we love you. We love you. You're so loved. You are beautiful energy. You'll just start to cry because it's just like, oh my God, somebody sees me. You might feel like you're being seen for the first time. So allowing that energy, allowing yourself to hear, allowing yourself to have that connection, allowing yourself to have this taking care of yourself. It's really key to helping yourself awaken. And then number 5 is notice where you are judging yourself and others and stop. Instead, find compassion and gratitude. So this is one of the biggest things that you can start to do. And because when you start to pay attention, where am I judging? So that's keeping you conscious. And when you start to see how much you're judging first of all yourself, and then how much you judge others, and you choose to not do that and feel compassion, and first of all, judging yourself, beating yourself up, but who are you to be judging what anybody else is doing in the world, because you don't know why they're here. Their way of being or whatever might be their lesson. They came down, they volunteered to come down to earth to learn and to help, and they might have come to learn what pain was, or they might have come to learn what's homelessness like. And yet they're an incredible spiritual person. And so who are we to judge what somebody else's life is going, what direction they're going, or how they're doing, as long as they're not harming others, right? But at the same time as having compassion that they're learning, they're growing, they're processing their own stuff. And if you have enough to do to process your own, even if you have huge advantages in a lot of different ways from somebody that you think has less, but they might be happier than you, and you've got a lot more to do to become happy than they do. They might not need as much as you need. So it's like just starting to stop any of the judgments, stop gossiping, stop talking, there's no men, there's no women, they're la 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 la, Republican, Democrat, good, bad, right, wrong, all this stuff. Start thinking, what do you want to see? Can we work together? Can we appreciate each other? Can we have gratitude and compassion for ourselves and for each other? So as you can see, there's lots of things that you can be doing to awaken, and it is very different from the Ascension, which is where we're evolving and our DNA is being activated, and we're embodying more light in our bodies, and becoming more light bodies, more multidimensional. But the awakening is helping the process of ascension, in that when we release all the stuff that is not ourselves and embrace who we really are, then we can, and we feel the love and the gratitude and the compassion and the appreciation for all of us, and we feel that the freedom to be ourselves and let others be themselves, and to feel unified and know our connection to everything, and that we can create an incredible world. That opens up our heart, which is the key to activating our dormant DNA that's being activated, which is the Ascension, where our body is actually transforming and taking in more light and letting go of the density, letting go of the old unconscious programming, becoming much more conscious, using all of our multi-dimensions, which you can learn about on my Ascension videos. So I hope this was very helpful to you, and ask any questions, reply to this or send me messages if you want to find out more. If you're interested in awakening more, I have a class that's going to be starting in September called Higher Dimensional Living. It's a 12-week course. And I also have community. If you want to be around like-minded people, I have a membership program that is where you can go in and learn and be around other starseeds and sensitives, so that and having discussions, and we do energy work, and there's learning, and there's celebrations, and there's community. So I'll put links under this if you're interested in that. And there's tons of other videos here on YouTube that will help you, and you can follow me on Instagram also. So, and please share or like the videos that you listen to, because that really helps me to spread the word, so that I can be living my big mission, which is helping, guiding starseeds and sensitives. So until we meet again, love, live, and matter. Take care.